Hi everybody, welcome back to Pathway to Leadership. Today we're talking about secret communication skills. I've got 3 communication habits that we all should avoid, and 5 good habits that we all should learn and practice to become better communicators. One of the greatest gifts that we all have is the ability to communicate. And when we do it well, we can be very exacting and clear in the message that we're trying to bring forth. We can use words to paint pictures in our mind's eye. We can use it for entertainment. And communication is one way that we learn and teach. So even though communication is a great gift, it sometimes can be misused, misunderstood, and of course, taken for granted. So coming up next, here are a few communication habits that we should definitely start to avoid. The first is multitasking, or having distractions while communicating. You see, multitasking has been proven to be less effective than focusing on one thing at a time. And there's nothing worse than cutting someone off before they had a chance to finish explaining it all. The third habit that we should try to avoid is avoiding negative communications. Negative communications can be, providing a less than exemplary job performance review, or having to tell someone no. When you avoid these negative types of communications, it can take a small situation and grow it into something monumentous. In other words, if you procrastinate and not address these situations because you're afraid of the negative communication, well then it only makes things worse. A good example of this is if you have an employee that's always late to work and you never address it, then eventually that employee is going to say, well, no one said anything, so it must be okay. I'm going to continue doing that. Thank you for being here at Pathway to Leadership. Please show us some love by smashing that like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Now you're part of the leadership community that we're building here at Pathway to Leadership. So show your support and give us some love. So now let's talk about good habits that increase our effectiveness as communicators. The first one is feelings. Feelings are real. For instance, if something is making someone upset and you think it shouldn't bother them, consider that their feelings are real. And whether or not you think they should not feel that way, the fact is, they do. The fact is, people may not remember what you say, but they will definitely remember how you made them feel. And validating someone's feelings is a great way to open up a productive dialogue. Now, understanding that great communication and understanding is one thing, but you have to also be a good listener. And when you understand this, you'll understand that communication is a two-way street. You can talk all you want, deliver your message as much as you want. However, if there's not someone on the other side receiving that message, then all you're doing is dancing by yourself. The next good habit is to ask a lot of questions. When you ask a lot of questions, it shows that you're actually engaged in the conversation. You're showing a level of caring. You want to hear more and you want to clarify. Asking good questions keeps you focused and involved in the situation. By asking a lot of questions, you're slowly teaching people how to communicate to you. And after a few engagements, obviously questioning and being involved, then people will learn that they can deliver their message more effectively and on target later on when they have to. Another great habit is trying to understand by putting yourself in the shoes of the person communicating to you. Think about it. Get inside of their head. Know how they feel. What caused them to have this communication with you? What drove all the pieces together and made it that they wanted to come and talk to you about something and maybe had an issue or wanted to have a dialogue about, obviously something's bothering them, or they wanted to communicate praise, or they wanted to, whatever they're communicating. Something drove them to that, and you want to get inside of their head and put yourself into their shoes and understand why this communication is happening. Another great communication habit is being a chameleon. chameleon has a way of blending in with its environment. Well, think of this. If you walk into someone's office and they're full of high energy and they're speaking fast and, there's a lot going on there, you want to be a chameleon. You want to mimic and mirror that type of dialogue. That person is going to be more receptive to what you have to say. If they're slow and laid back and relaxed, then put yourself into that position, slow and relaxed. Now, there's a caveat to that. If the person is coming to you and is full of anxiety and you need to de-escalate the situation, well, then by all means, you might want to act opposite. Approach that individual in a calm, slow, and very exacting manner. So in that case, when you need to de-escalate, you become opposite of what that person is portraying. And lastly, be in the present. Right now, the here and now for the person that you're communicating with. This is the time to focus on each other. Deliver your message. Wait for responses. Don't rush through communications. I know we all have time crunches that we have to deal with on a daily basis. But remember, one of the biggest gifts we have is the ability to communicate. And if we practice continuously on how to communicate effectively, then we all become better on our pathway to leadership. Again, I thank you for joining me this evening. It was a pleasure to be with you. I'm glad you've joined the community of leaders. So please, once again, hit that thumbs up. Support the channel. We love those like buttons. And give me a comment below. Let us know how we're doing. If there's some subjects you'd like to cover, put it in the comments below. I read all of the comments that come in. And you never know. One of your comments might make it on one of our live shows. We have live shows once a week. I try to put those out. So I hope to see you at a live show. But until then, thanks again. From Pathway to Leadership, we'll see you next time.